Choose the correct answer from those given. 1. If NC3 equals 4, then N equals, so we have NC3 equals 4. Of course, you can do it using a calculator by trying some numbers here. You will find that N equals 4 as 4C3 equals 4 here. But I wanted to make it in steps to more understanding. So you can write NC3 in the form of NP3 over factorial 3. According to the definition, it is equal 4. So NP3 equals 4 multiply factorial 3, which equal 6. So here NP3, it is the permutation equals 4 multiply 6, it is 24. And also you can write it in the form 4 multiply 3 multiply 2, which equal 4B3, 4 permutation 3. So N equals 4. And the solution will be letter B. Next question, we have factorial r minus 2 over factorial r minus 3. What is the result of this division? What is the result of this fraction? It is one of these. According to the definition of permutation here, we know that factorial x over factorial x minus y equals x permutation y. Okay, so with respect to this fraction here, we have factorial r minus 2 over factorial r minus 3. We can write it in the form of permutation. It will be instead of x, we write r minus 2 permutation r minus 2 minus r minus 3 according to the main definition of permutation. So we have r minus 2 permutation here, r minus 2 minus r plus 3, which equal again r minus 2 permutation r minus r equals 0, and negative 2 plus 3 equals 1. Again r minus r equals 0, and negative 2 plus 3 equals 1. So the result equals r minus 2 permutation 1, and this result here in C. Next question, we have 6 CR equals 5 CR. Here we have R equals 0. It means R equals 0. Why? Because 6 C0 equals 1, and also 5 C0 equals 1. So when you put r equals 0, it makes the two sides are equal, and we choose letter C here. Okay. Next question, question number 4. If factorial n equals factorial n equals 720, then the required is to find the value of np2 equals one of this. Now with respect to 720 equals factorial 6. Again, you can make it with factorization or try some numbers on your calculator, as factorial 6 or 6 factorial equals 720. So directly you can write factorial n equals factorial 6. It means n equals 6, so np2 n permutation 2 equals 6p2, which equal 6 multiply 5, which equal 30. And we choose letter A. Next question, question number 5. Again, we have n c5 equals n minus 2. Note that here n equals n. According to the definition, we have if this is one of the important rules here. If you have NCR equals NCH, it means R equals H, or R plus H equals N. So back to the problem here. We have NC5 equals N Cn minus 2. So 5 equals n minus 2 implies n equals 7, or 5 plus n minus 2 equals n according to the definition here. So 5 minus 2, it is 3, equals 0, and this solution is refused. So we choose n equals 7, and the solution will be letter B. Question number 6, 17. We write it first. 17 bm plus 5 equals 29 permutation m plus 5. So what is the value of m which makes the two sides are equal? The two sides are equal when m equals -5. Why? Let us try it. 17p -5 plus 5 equals 17 permutation 0. And 17 permutation 0, you can do it in your calculator. 17. Permutation 0, and see what is the result. It is equal 1. Also with respect to the second part here, we have 29 permutation negative 5 plus 5. It is equal 29 permutation 0, which equal 1. So the only value here which makes the two sides are equal, that negative 5, and we choose letter B here. Next question, NP4, let us write it, N permutation 4 equals 504 N. So what is the value of N? Let us write NP4 in another form. So we write, instead of NP4, you can write it as the product of 4 factors. N multiply N minus 1 multiply N minus 2 multiply N minus 3. How many factors? 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 504 N. Now dividing both sides by N here. Divide N, divide N. So the result here is N minus 1 multiply N minus 2 multiply N minus 3 equals 504. Okay. Now you can write the left hand side in the form of permutation. N minus 1 B3. What is it? 3? 3 factors. 1, 2, 3 here equals 504. 504, it is 9 B3. Okay, according to factorization, or you can also use your calculator. It is allowed. Okay, 9 B3, 9 permutation 3 equals 504. So now we have N minus 1 B3 equals N B3. So N minus 1 equals 9. It means N equals 10. And we choose letter D. Next question, question number 8. We have NC9 to NC7 equals 7 to 9. So you can write it in this form, NC9 over NC7 equals 7 over 9. And now dividing up and down by NC8. Okay, dividing up and down by NC8 here with respect to the left hand side. So what you get? You get here NC9 divide NC8 over NC7 divide NC8. It is still equal 7 over 9. Okay. And now what is the value of NC9 over NC8? According to the rule, it is equal N minus 9 plus 1 over 9. Divide here, this is divide, right? So I write divide. NC7 over NC8. NC7 over NC8. It is equal, here we write 8, and here is N minus 8 plus 1, which equal 7 over 9. And we will solve this relation to find the value of N. Again, we write N minus 9 plus 1, it is N minus 8, right? Over 9. Division will be multiplication, and we write the reciprocal of this fraction, which equal N minus 7 over 8. It is equal 7 over 9, and we'll solve this equation. Here you can divide by 9. What that mean? N minus 8 multiply N minus 7 over 8 equals 7 over 1. Okay, here is 1, here is 1. Cross multiplication, what you get? N minus 8 multiply N minus 7 equals 8 multiply 7. So I'll complete this solution. Here we have N multiply N, it is N square minus 15N plus 8 multiply 7, it is 56. 8 multiply 7 again, it is 56. So here we have N square minus 15N equals 0, as 56 minus 56 equals 0 here. And by taking N as a common factor, we have N multiply N minus 15 here equals 0. So N equals 0, it's refused, or N equals 15. So the solution is N equals 15. N equals 0 is refused because N must be greater than or equal R. Here, when you put N equals 0, it is meaningless. So N equals 15, and we choose letter B. We have 15 PR plus 1. 15 PR plus 1 divide 14 PR equals, what is the value of this division? Here we write 15 PR plus 1 according to the definition of permutation. Here we have, for example, X PR equals factorial X over factorial X minus R. Okay, so here the left side is factorial 15 over factorial 15 minus R plus 1 divide factorial 14 over factorial 14 minus R equals, we change the division to multiplication, it will be factorial 15 over factorial, here is 15 minus R, here is 15 minus 1, it is 14, right? Minus R divide factorial or you can say multiply factorial 14 minus r over factorial 14. Okay, here you can dividing up and down by factorial 14 minus r. So we have 1, here we have 1. So we have factorial 15 multiply 1, it's factorial 15 over factorial 14. Factorial 15, it is 15 multiply factorial 14. Divide factorial 14, dividing up and down by factorial 14, so the result equals 15. Okay, and we choose letter C. Here we have n plus 1 b4 equals 10 n b3. Okay, so the left hand side it is n plus 1 permutation 4. So I'll write it in another form. It will be factorial n plus 1 over factorial n plus 1 minus 4. It is equal 10 multiply factorial n over factorial n minus 3. The required here is to find the value of n. So we have factorial n plus 1, it is n plus 1 multiply factorial n, okay, over factorial n minus 3. 1 minus 4, it is negative 3, equals 10 multiply here factorial n over factorial n minus 3. Okay, so we will simplify the two sides, dividing both sides by factorial n. So here we have 1, here we have 1, and multiplying by factorial n minus 3, we will get 1, and here is another 1. Okay, now we have n plus 1 equals 10. It means n equals 10 minus 1, which equal 9. And we choose letter B.